You're listening to the Platte River Bard.
Hello, and welcome to the Platte River Bard. This is Chris Berger.
And I'm Sherry Berger.
And we are here today virtually with Vincent Orduna. He is the artistic director for OCP. Welcome back to the show, sir. It's been a little while since we talked to you.
Thank you for having me, and Happy New Year to you guys.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Yes, indeed. And of course, Mary Carrick is the marketing director for OCP. Yay. Back with us once again. Good to see you.
Good to be here.
Yes.
So it's been a little while since we talked to you. The last time we talked to you, VJ, you had just arrived at your position as artistic director at OCP.
That is correct.
It's been almost a year, I think, hasn't it?
A little over 8 months.
Okay, yeah. So how's so far so good? How you feeling?
Feeling great. It's an incredible place. The pace is huge. I hit the ground and directed Grease coming out of the gate, which went really, really well.
Yeah.
But everyone kept saying, wait till the holiday. Things get very, very busy. And so it was great. People kept prepping you. And it's one of those things you can be prepped, but until you live through it, you don't really know. And, I think at one point we had 4 shows in some state of production.
For sure.
And all of the other avenues of business going on. So it was very, 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 very busy. One of them being, piano lesson, which I am currently directing. I'm a huge fan of the entire cycle. Yeah. I mean, his body of works, these 10 plays representing a decade of experience of the African-American experience in the country in the last century it's always been fascinating to me. My brother, who's an actor in LA, he travels all over around the country doing August Wilson plays. He's done 9 of the 10.
Oh, cool!
As an actor, and so I'm a huge fan of the work. The piano lesson, I think, is one of my favorites. It's one of the ones that won the Pulitzer.
Yes, it did. Yes,
it's an incredible story about family and faith and heritage, which I find really, really intriguing. It's a small cast, but it's a big story. So I'm really excited about it. I was really thrilled that when I came in, this was the show that we were doing.
Yeah. Yes, it's one of my favorites. I like it quite a bit. I like the whole heritage deal with the piano, where they have all the stuff carved in the piano, and the 2 differing sort of viewpoints of the brother and sister. Mm-hmm. Of one wants to keep it because it's their heritage, literally. Some of their ancestors are sort of carved into the piano, and the brother wants to sell it so they can have, so they can make something.
And they can buy the place of the family that enslaved their ancestors.
Yes, and so both are sort of like,
it's kind of like
good ideas.
Yeah.
And
which one trumps the other one?
Yes. So. Well, then I thought it was interesting because it has a supernatural element to it.
Yeah,
which was unexpected
to me.
You're
doing that.
It's
when
a ghost story, which a lot of people miss that it's a ghost story.
I know, and that kind of shocked me because I was like, August Wilson. Oh wait, they're taking the ghost thing seriously. Okay, all right. But then I thought,
she sees him.
But how much sense? But then I stopped and thought about it. I thought, well, that's rather fantastical for someone like August Wilson. But I thought, well, no, because look at the ghosts that we live with and that they're living with in a way,
Well, in August Wilson, one of the things that was interesting about August Wilson, one of my favorite statements he ever made when he talked about the African-American experience and why he wanted to write about it is because people often want to talk about what is it to be an African-American? Is it a subdivision? Is it a subset? What is it? And one of the things that August Wilson talks about is that the African-American experience is really an experience of Africans in America for very much of the last century. And so there's a lot in this work, and Jim of the Ocean is another one that does this, where there's a lot of talk about how does that spirituality affect itself, in African cultures, and the calling of the ancestors, and the ancestors being, people that being a force that you can palpably feel and see. And what's great about the piano lesson is it also bridges into the African-American Judeo-Christian experience and how the African-American church looks at spirits and the power of God and the power of faith, and this intersection that happens with this family. And I know with the cast, we've had a lot of conversations about what is a ghost? What is a spirit? What is the Holy Spirit? How do these things move you? And it's been really fascinating. It's and great.
And do you feel that the ghost in the story is more of a Christian type ghost, or is it more of a spirit that is maybe a spirit of their ancestors or a spirit of the religion of their ancestors?
Well, without giving too much of the story away, there are several ghosts and several spirits at work. And one of the great things about August is he never gives you solid answers.
Yeah.
He creates situations, and in the script he'll lay some things out, but it really is up to the audience to sort of glean, okay, what was this? What was that? Where did this come from? And so, we're having a lot of fun talking about okay, what is this ghost? What is this spirit? What is this moment? And I don't mean to be cryptic, but it's really something you got to see to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's all good. No, I mean, and I think it probably means quite a bit for the cast to be able to do this type of story and be able to approach those times in a positive way. Whereas, they're not always having to play, a character that maybe is just too much, emotionally and.
And this one takes place in the 30s. Is this 30s era?
No, I think it's
Is it 30s?
It's 1936, technically.
36?
I thought I read something about 1911, but I think that maybe is when it began.
That's when the dad,
I think that's what I was reading.
That's when the dad had to run and all that. Yeah.
Yeah,
The
so a
dad
period
of the son.
So basically a period of 30 years
Yes.
of history.
Yeah. Since you're the sort of fairly newly minted artistic director there, what is something, because you've lived here and of course you left and then came back, but you know about OCP and you knew about it before. But in taking the job, was there something that you took and you took the job and you're doing the job and you're doing grease and all that stuff and you're going through and they're preparing you for stuff? Is there something that hit you? They're like, you didn't expect, or, you know what I mean? It's like, well, okay, I didn't expect this, or this is a challenge I didn't think I would have to deal with, or you know what I mean, or something. Not in a bad way, but just like, I mean, or is that maybe a daily thing? You're just like, oh, okay, I have to do this now,
Well, what a great question. I think the best way I can answer that is growing up in Omaha and having an artistic family. And OCB has always been this monolith. Although as a kid I didn't do a lot of shows here, but I knew people that did. My aunt Nola did. I had a cousin that did a lot of shows there. And then I did, when I was in college, I did Wiz here.
Oh, cool.
And there was this sort of understanding in my head about the size and the breadth of the Playhouse, that when you're inside it, it's both bigger and smaller than you expect.
Okay,
and
sure.
I'm like, wow, these things are huge and we're doing all of this stuff. And then there are those things that I'm like, oh, but we really are a community theater at heart. We really did start from very basic roots. And sort of watching that intersectionality, like I was someone, I've been away from Omaha for almost 30 years and I've worked in 2 major markets. And I just sort of always assumed the Playhouse was this great big regional theater because of the quality of work that goes on, because the talent that comes through, because of the scope and the scale of things. And then to find out, but really at its root, at its heart, it is a community theater, the largest one in the country.
Yes.
And so sort of reconciling those two identities has been a bit of a learning curve for me, but I also think it's been growing pains for the organization and we're just leaning in.
Yeah.
I always got that sense too, that as big as that place is, because I wasn't here in Omaha very long before I went to work on Christmas Carol. I was here maybe a year. So I had no experience with the Playhouse. I just knew, oh, it's the big place. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I went there and it was so big and I'm like, wow, and everything. But the more I was there, it felt like the other community theaters that I had worked at. It didn't feel like this professional, oh, you can't go over there, or you can't talk to that person, or you got to be careful with, no. It was that very community theater. Hey, we're all doing this together. Can you do this? All right, cool. That's always the impression that I got of it, which is probably the reason why I kept coming back. So.
Yeah, it still has really quality productions.
Oh my God, yes.
Really quality productions.
Yeah, well, and especially something like Christmas Carol, which you just experienced for the first time.
Yep.
It's such a machine. You just kind of step in and go, okay, here we go, and you just get caught up in it, and the whole thing just sweeps right along, just
Absolutely.
like everybody knows what they're doing, and it's great. And but it's a heck of a thing. What was your, just curious, because it's the thing I had the most experience with. What was your involvement with Carol like this year? Were you able to?
My job this year with Christmas Carol was to stay out of the way and watch. We had, we were very fortunate. Susie Bear Collins, who is an absolute institution,
Yes.
and Jim McCain, who's been with the production for a while. Both of them stepped in and were like, "We're going to do this." And so Brandon, my associate artistic director,
Yes.
he sort of sat in the room and learned a lot, and I got to take a sort of elevated watch of all of the operations. And that, like I said, that was one of those things that I went, "Wow, this is a lot of moving pieces.
It really is.
This is a lot."
Staggering.
Well, and with it being the 50th anniversary, it was, the truth is a lot of companies across the nation across the globe do a Christmas Carol.
Absolutely.
At Christmas time, and I've even been involved in productions of it, and I've never encountered a production as beloved or as cemented as this production is. And that was an amazing thing to sort of watch. When you're an artist, it's very easy to come in and go, "I know what this is, and I'm just gonna do a thing." And it's like, no, this has got a lot. Just watching we had some events. We had an alumni event where they invited people who had been in the show, anyone who had ever been in the show, to come back. And just watching that history and feeling the love and hearing the stories, you sort of get this sense, okay, this is what heritage means. This is how something becomes an institution. Which is funny, not to segue back. It's sort of, for me, it's sort of what Piano Lesson is struggling with. It's like, what do we do with the things that belong to our past, that inform us and make us who we are, that have a special place? How do we move them forward?
Right.
What reverence do we show them? I was very fortunate because both Brandon and I were afforded the opportunity to watch and learn.
That's really valuable on something like that.
Which very often you don't get a chance to do that. Sometimes, you're like, okay, so this is the thing, and great, people will love it. Okay, watch me go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's.
And I think too, at the same time, so all that's happening, and VJ and his cast are rehearsing the piano lesson
Exactly.
downstairs in the basement in the dance studio while Christmas Carol is happening. The work is happening on the piano lesson, which VJ spoke to at one point about, like, 4 shows were either in rehearsal or on stage at one time. So it's a lot.
It's a
lot.
lot.
I mean, you're observing, all the goings on with Carol, but at the same time, you're immersed in the piano lesson and working with the cast and rehearsal and all sorts of things.
And having 4 shows going on.
And then Brandon had auditions for Hair and
Hair. That's right, Hair. That's right. That's a little play called Hair. But how
huge cast.
I mean, how excited is that, though? You kind of stop and look around, and you're like, man, there's 4 things going on at once here.
Yeah,
that's
how exciting.
As an artist, that's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
it is cool. It is really cool.
That's kind of the
as
dream.
As long as they don't
there.
make you responsible for all of it, right?
As long as you're not in charge of all 4. At the same
ultimately
time.
you are, though. BJ,
Ultimately you are, sort of. But I mean,
you're overseeing the whole.
You don't have to
whole operation,
and you're directing 4 things at once.
Yes.
Oh
no! but again, one of the nice things about the Playhouse and how it's been set up is there's so many hands at work.
Yeah.
It's it really is. Um, well, the word I keep thinking is I get a little gobsmacked at times when I stop and I think about, we'll have 3 or 4 shows in production, but we have one shop, right?
Yeah,
and so we've got, so everyone in the building is working continually to make sure that everything is going the way it needs to go, and things you don't really think about logistically. Other theaters that I've worked at, maybe there are 2 productions going at a time. And usually when that's happening, one is on stage and the other one is in pre-production. But the idea that at some point you can have 4 going, it's the Playhouse is a very different animal when you sort of get to peek under the hood.
It is.
Yeah, it's a great animal, and we love that animal.
Yes, we're glad to have you guys,
There's
man.
so many options.
That was an incredibly mixed metaphor. I'm better than that.
That's
no,
all right.
You're all good. So let's talk a little bit about your cast, because I think your cast is probably around.
You said a smaller cast?
Dozen, maybe?
Oh,
10?
no.
Was it like 6?
I believe it's 7. Yeah.
7. I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was
Okay.
single-digit numbers. Yeah.
Okay.
Small cast play, which I adore small cast
That
plays.
makes it a little easier to be downstairs rehearsing at least.
Yeah. Tell us about your cast.
Yeah.
Well, they're great. Again, one of the things that's really fantastic about the Playhouse is we are a community theater, so we have a lot of talent.
Yes.
We've got varying levels of experience, which is for me as an artist and as a teacher is great. This show is a generational show, so we have. Our youngest cast member is 11, and I haven't asked how old our oldest cast member is.
That's okay.
I was raised better than that. But it's been really, it's been really great, and we've been able to do something since I've been here. One of the things we've been doing is we've been doing understudies.
Okay.
Because we live in a post-pandemic world, and we want to make sure that people, with a cast this small, you don't want anything about it. So it's been really great because we get to have these generational conversations, right? A pair of actors are related. Our young actor and her father were both in the show.
Oh, cool!
And that's been great. And I believe this is the second show they've done, and it's the second August Wilson they've done.
Oh, nice.
So that's they were both in Fences.
I would say, but was it Fences? Yeah, because that wasn't too long ago. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were both in Fences. So it's been really cool. But we have actors from all walks of life. We have a couple of actors in their 20s who are chomping at the bit to get out there and do this thing for a living. Yes. We've got a couple of people who are like, I just really love doing this, and one of our actors is a doctor who's like, but I'm also an artistic soul, and I love the poetry of it, and so we're having a lot of fun. And for me, that's great because then we get to bring all of these different life experiences. When you work in professional theater, you're dealing with professional performers, and there's this energy, and we're all sort of doing the thing, and we're all attached to the thing, and we all know the thing, and
sure.
It's sort of nice to be able to sit down and work with folks that I'm like, I was at my bank job 2 hours ago, and I'm here because I really love it, and I'm here because it's an outlet for me, and it's a chance to express myself in a way I don't get to. Even as you are working with those actors that are like, this is all I want to do, watching those two passions come together and build something is really great.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's why I love community theater, actually.
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
It is one of the really nice things about community theater is that wide swath of folks that you get. Oh, I work at a bank, and I juggle cats on the weekends. Really? Wow, what a strange group of people. Awesome. And everybody gets along and has a great time, and I love it.
But theater people are so great because they're just so committed. Like, they're going to show up for rehearsals, they're going to show up for productions, and man, sometimes you can't get people to do anything. But theater is a completely different story because it's just such a creative, addictive process, I think.
Yeah, well, and so like you said, so many people, like you sort of said in a roundabout way, so many people that you encounter are it's not like they're here because, oh, this is a job that I can do. It's almost theater and the arts. It's almost like you're called in a way. It's like, yeah, I'm a doctor, but I do plays, it's like, and that's sort of part of their identifier, and it's a strange thing. So many people I've talked to, it's not just, oh, I just thought I'd do this because it would be fun. It was, they were called in some way, I don't know. Has that been your experience? That's sort of been my experience. Is you don't get a lot of these sort of, I don't know what you call them, casuals or whatever. Just, oh, I'm just doing it for something to do.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, I think it's a yes and, right? What's really great about it is I believe there are people that there's an artistic calling, there's an artistic sensibility. But what's really great and what's great about a place like the Playhouse is you can also have that person's like, I've always thought I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
We've been seeing this year, and I don't know if it's just cyclical or if it's just what's going on. We've been seeing a lot of people coming to auditions that it's like, I've never done this before, but I've always really, really wanted to. And so I thought I would.
That's really great.
And being able to sort of look at that and go, okay, and you know what? You have a real aptitude for this. So why not?
Yeah.
Why not come? And the Playhouse, and theater's uniquely positioned to do that, to welcome people in that way.
Yes.
Because you're talking about a human experience, you're talking about storytelling, you're talking about tapping into something that makes it that we should all on some level have in common, which is how we move through our worlds.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's skill to it. Yes, there's a calling. Yes, there are people that train and are passionate. And I as an educator, I'm a big fan of, and there's a skill set we can teach you, but there's something really wonderful about, but you know what? It's okay to be a soccer mom who's always wanted to be on stage and find out I'm actually good at this.
Yeah.
And I love it. And how great to be able to have a place where people can do that.
Right.
Yeah. And then with the Playhouse and do that in beautiful costumes on gorgeous
sets. Oh my gosh. Incredible stage. Oh yeah. And with people who are just sort of primed to love you. I mean, the Playhouse audiences are so wonderful and they just show up just wanting to love everything. And it's one of the things that I loved. After Carol, we go out and say goodbye to everybody, and everybody was so appreciative and just grateful, and they just loved it. And it's a heck of a thing to experience. It's like, you get paid in other ways, especially when you get to talk to the audience. It's
well,
real
I think
nice.
Too, there's a good number of artists in our community that, they may have, training. They may have been a theater major in school, but their life goes on a different path and they end up in a totally different type of career or job, yet they still have those skills and they still want to perform. And so, we're the home to those artists too. They're lifelong theater people. They're lifelong, actors. They're really skilled. And we're a place that they can do that at a fairly high level with high level production values and really high quality productions. And yet they're in a different career. One of our cast members, I believe it's Anthony, I think he's a physician, and so obviously he's in a completely different role. And I don't know what his background is in terms of theater, but I know he's got credits, in theater. And I think there's just a lot of people that have training from years past and that, we're a place for them to use those skills and experience and have theater still be a part of their life.
And that's such a great segue too. Maybe we could just take a minute to talk about your classes that you offer and maybe some of the things that you want to talk about for 2026, just to let people know that you have acting classes for all ages and that type of thing. So to check your website and get involved that way.
Well, one of the things that we're really leaning into is offering more and more adult classes. I mean, Omaha is crazy with resources in the arts. It's really coming back home. That's been something that's been really, really nice to sort of see. I mean, with the Rose here, with OPA, there are all of these fantastic arts opportunities. But one of the things that is sort of hard is, if you're 12 or 14, there are lots of places to go and learn how to do this. What do you do if you're 40 or 50 or,
Yep.
And you're like, I want to take a tap class. When I was a young person, I really enjoyed theater, but I haven't stepped on stage since high school. So we're looking at doing a lot of offerings for adults, as well as our kids camps, which are wonderful. Awesome. And we have a lot of opportunities, and we've got some production camps for young people. But to sort of give an opportunity for any age to still do this and learn how to do this, because theater skills are life skills.
Yeah.
I think public speaking is still on the top 3 greatest fears of most people on the planet.
I think it is. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And theater is one of the best ways to learn how to combat that. As without getting too heavy, as we look at the national, international conversation, empathy is something that we always need.
Yes.
Learning how to connect to people, learning how to make room and space for other people's points of view.
Yep.
And these are things that
other stories. Yeah.
This is stuff that theater is uniquely suited for.
Yep.
We're really enjoying it. I'm really excited. Like I said, we've seen a lot of new talent, burgeoning talent come out for auditions. You can't cast everybody, but you can sure look at someone and go, you did fantastic.
Yeah.
Maybe come take our audition class so we can help you be more confident next time.
Yeah. Yeah, that is always hard. Somebody shows up and they're really great and you don't have a spot for them and you just like, oh, please come back. Please come back, But that's interesting. So many new people coming. Wonder if it has anything to do with the new folks in charge. Don't know. Could be. You never know. You might have a good reputation. You may.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we really appreciate your partnership. And it's always good to talk to you. And I'm really excited for Omaha Community Playhouse for the 2026 year. I know you've got a lot ahead of you. You're probably getting ready to finish up your season, or you're probably working on it, I'm guessing.
Christmas carols towards the end of the season.
We've been working really hard on what we're doing for next year, and we can't wait to sort of walk that out once we have all of our I's dotted and T's crossed.
For sure.
Yeah, you're already planning for the future. For sure.
We have five more shows on this season. So our season doesn't run through the calendar year. It runs it's split. So we've got the piano lesson, Hair, Disaster.
That's right. Disaster.
Crazy parody of
that's a good one.
disaster movies from the 70s.
Yes.
We've got Dial M for Murder.
Yes, all those audition notices the other day. Yes.
And then Mary Poppins. So we've got a ways to go yet.
Yeah. But you're probably already working on the next season is
when we talk about the being a monolith and a huge moving machine, it never stops.
Right,
one of those
exactly.
Things, you're always praying for. Mary Poppins, gonna be flying somebody on the stage. Oh man.
Before we break, I wonder if VJ, is there anything more you want to say about the piano lesson?
Yeah, I would say let's circle back
thematically, or thinking about what an audience member, like what somebody in the audience will take from that show, and how it's really, it takes place in 1936, but so many of those themes are still resonate today. I mean, we all have heirlooms. We have those things that.
Well, what's great about all of August Wilson's work, with the 10-play cycle, he really wanted to talk about a cultural and historical experience. But the way he tells stories, because they're situational, they're not sort of they're not these great big environmental statements. It's not like, okay, we're talking about slavery, we're talking about a family, and so with the piano lesson, at its heart, you have these two siblings. Actually, they're two sets of siblings if you really look at it. Because it's generational. There's an older generation of siblings, and then the two siblings who are having the dispute. Right. And then there's another generation in the young daughter that's there. And it's this family, and they're talking about trauma, generational trauma, and they're talking about moving forward, and there's grief, and there's loss, and there's this inheritance, and there's this hope. And although it does have a very specific cultural context, there's such a universality to how they interact. Everyone, I think I said in another talk back, every family knows what loss is. Yeah. Every family has had to deal with that sort of, what do we do with what's been given to us? What becomes a cherished heirloom? What becomes baggage you're carrying with you? Yeah. When you're dealing with loss and pain, where do you go to put that? Where does your faith bolster you? How does your faith bolster you? What do you believe in? And so these are themes that are universal in a very spectacular way. There's a lot of heart in this story. There's a lot of humor in this story. What I do like about August Wilson is I think oftentimes when we're talking about marginalized people or disenfranchised people, there's a lot of the stories that get told are stories of pain, because there is a lot of pain, and there's a lot of struggle, and there's a lot of strife. Yep. But hopefully no one's life is completely full of pain. No one's life is devoid completely of joy. I know our cast, we've talked a lot about, okay, yes, it's the 30s. Yes, it can kind of suck to be a Black person in the 30s.
Yeah.
But this is a family that loves each other. This is a family that laughs. This is a family that tells stories. This is a family that, fights. What does that look like? And hopefully anybody can relate to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
Absolutely. So I'm assuming this coming season, you will finally get to throw some ideas in for future projects. This would be the first upcoming season that will be announced in the coming months. That you will get to have a hand in.
Yes, season 102, Brandon and I both had a pretty substantial hand, along with our play reading committee, in forming, and we're very excited about that. We're going back to thematic storytelling, and so for both of us, Omaha has such a special pace, so we're going to be dealing with stories that talk about homecoming and family and community, which are sort of the big three things that wrapped, well, I don't want to speak for Brandon, but sort of wrapped me up in being back at the Playhouse.
Okay.
That's great.
We're back in Omaha.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
I like seasons with a theme. That's nice.
I am a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it when theaters do that.
I bet marketing likes it too.
Marketing loves it.
We love it too.
Yeah,
and we love your podcast too. So, we'll talk about that when we're ready to announce that season.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be wonderful.
We will absolutely give you a crack at that for sure.
Absolutely.
We would not leave you out of that.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome. We would love that.
And speaking of upcoming stuff, is there Is this the first time you've had a chance to direct an August Wilson play? Is this the first time you've directed
an August Wilson play? No, not at all.
Okay. Well, I didn't know because a lot of scenes are in it, but maybe you didn't have a chance to direct it. And I know a lot of people, they're like, well, should I direct it or be in it? And they go, oh, I'd rather be in it, But okay, so this isn't your first. Is there one that you haven't done that you'd like to to bring? I'm such a fan of his work. So
yeah.
Like, anybody else?
Well, I there's so many of his works I love. One of my favorites is actually on Broadway right now. It's back on Broadway. So Joe Turner's Come and Gone is one of my favorites.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But it's back on Broadway right now, so that might be a minute. Yeah. I'm also a huge fan of Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Okay.
I got to see my brother. Yeah, I got to see a production in San Diego of Jim of the Ocean, which is one of the pieces I didn't know. It's one of the later pieces he wrote, but it's actually one of the earliest pieces in the cycle.
Okay.
Because walk through, and it's a beautiful piece. It's very poetic. Stylistically, he sort of morphs the storytelling to the decade that they're in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's all August Wilson, I'm a big fan of Shakespeare, so it's Jim of the Ocean is very poetic in many ways. Mm-hmm. The way August writes is great. So that's a long way of saying there are lots of his shows that I would love to do.
I didn't know whether there was any one specific you're like, I've always wanted to do this one. But,
I think one I would love to attempt is Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I just love the storytelling there, and I love the intersectionality of the music. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes. I grew up on musicals, but I'm a big fan of plays with music.
Yeah.
And the Playhouse has done some really great ones. Last season, they did both Old Man, Old Moon and the Mariachi play, which were both these wonderful straight plays that had a lot of music in them. A lot of music, yeah. And I think that for me growing up, that was my life. There was always music around. So, I always laugh when people go, musicals are so unreal. People don't just burst into song. I'm like, they did at my house.
Fair enough.
That's awesome.
I don't know what your life is, but
that sounds like a fun house. Yeah. And when I had seen Don Trell Kiss the Sea, there's so much that the lighting crew could do with the ocean.
Oh yeah.
And doing all of that.
That was cool.
How cool is that? What a great opportunity that is for the lighting people to be able to do that and not have to build sets and all of that as well. Mm-hmm. You can do so much with that feeling of water.
I love it. No, good luck, break legs on all the stuff upcoming. I won't say good luck, I'll say break legs. And
you will.
And we know you will. And of course, looking forward to the piano lesson and everything else that's coming out. Of course, the piano lesson starts January 16th. And runs through February 8th. And go ahead and check their website.
Shows are Wednesday through Saturday at 7:30 and Sundays at 2.
Okay, so full schedule. Wednesday through Saturday and Sunday.
Nice. Yeah, tickets at omahaplayhouse.com. But people can always call our box office. 402-553-0800 or stop by during our box office hours.
Great.
Yes. That's a lot of people may not know that. Yeah, they're open regular business hours, so you can just stop in and get a ticket.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, thank you so much. It was so good to see you both.
Thanks for reaching out. We really appreciate it.
It's always good to talk to you, and I'm just excited for you.
Well, thank you so much, and it's always great to talk to you. I'm really enjoying getting to know the other artists in the community.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for having us, as always.
You're welcome. Thank you.
August Wilson's The Piano Lesson, directed by Vincent Orduna, a powerful story of family, history, and legacy. Winner of the Pulitzer Prize for Drama, will be presented on the Hawks main stage and will run from January 16th to February 8th at the Omaha Community Playhouse. Go to omahaplayhouse.com for more info and tickets.
Thank you for listening and supporting the arts in the Platte River area and beyond. Please subscribe to our podcast so you are sure to catch all of our future episodes and join us on social media. See you next time on the Platte River Bard.